Welcome back then to day 3 of the European Touch Championship. Action for the women's 27 division up next. It is Belgium who got the tournament underway at the Stadio d'Aragon when they took on the host France, facing England, who are perhaps the favourites for this particular title. Warren from the England camp alongside me. Warren, thanks for joining us, and well, how are you enjoying the Touch Championship so far?
Yeah, great to be here. It's hot. That's the main thing that I can point out. But otherwise, the touch is just fabulous at the moment.
England hot favourites in this one. Belgium have picked up a couple of wins so far. They won here on pitch 2 yesterday, but they're going to struggle here against a very talented England side. And Joe Devine has already gone over, and it's given, and it might well be the quickest try of the tournament so far. Inside 20 seconds.
Great start for England. Off to a quick fly start. England are taking a good stance in the tournament, but I tell you, the quality of touch coming out of some of the other European nations is really up the game this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've seen some great games from various European sides. I mean, just before the sort of lunchtime hours, we had the mixed open quarterfinals, and we had Switzerland progress. We had France beating Ireland. It's not just the home nations that get their own way nowadays.
The Swiss have really switched it on. The Swiss mixed open, especially. There's another try. Belgium kicking in.
What a moment. Belgium go over. Their first attack. Cesar van der Counter has scored. Belgium with 2 wins, both against the Portuguese opponents. Portugal beaten 18-1 in the opening round of these fixtures by England, and Belgium on the reverse had to wait until day 2 to play them and eventually win. It's been some low scoring games across this division so far, but we're not expecting this to be one of them.
Right, so Wilf, I'm going to leave you to it, and my gap filling session is over.
Thanks, Warren, for talking to us briefly. Delighted to be joined by Hannah from Scottish Touch, as England are on the front foot here again. It might be Anna Goddard second. Indeed, it is scored. England take the lead again. And Hannah, this women's 27s division, I mean, it's practically indistinguishable from the Women's Open, especially in the bigger nations like England, who've got so many players to select from.
Yeah, absolutely. It's incredible the amount of depth that a lot of these countries have now, and we're seeing some real pace and skill at 27s level, which is absolutely incredible to watch. These games are really tight, and they've got a big division too, loads of teams, which is nice to see. Yeah,
growing all the time. The likes of Spain and Belgium adding themselves recently to the foray, and it is Belgium in possession here. Touch taken by Samantha Verbois. Back to the short side. Verbois over to Mahwa Belhaj on this left wing, then they swing it to the right just as quick. Nice step.
Trying to make something of last touch there.
Hannah van der Trappen caught. There's a discussion from the referees here. I think it is just going to be a reset for England. So back underway, England with their first chance actually to head to the box in normal play. And they will transition straight out of their set of 6. Really good drive, only 3 touches, and they're almost up to halfway, so they might have a chance to strike here. It's quickly off the deck. Nikki Bird keeping the pace of play high. Clark now at half. Clark back onto the inside. It's Field and Stewart. Field and Stewart caught by Verbois.
Oh, didn't look like there was space to go through there. She somehow managed. Obviously got a little touch in, but incredible line speed. Yeah,
just the faintest of touch for Verbois. Now finds Mwepu, and Belgium take their chance to rotate. There's a light breeze moving left to right across the pitches here. It's well needed because it is a scorcher in Vichy. It's the warmest day so far, just as some tired legs start to show across the tournament with so much touch being played in the last 2 days. And that's a slight knock on. So England with possession back, practically a restart and a good opportunity for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Take it from the halfway. You've got options there to stick with your subset and run it, or you can run a tap-off play if you wanted, given you're starting from the halfway.
Now, there's 2 errors in quick succession.
Very unlike England here. They're going to have to tidy it up. I think they'll get some cleaner ball if they can just keep the errors out of it.
Round the corner come Belgium. Soft hands from Druers. Druers again drifting all the way across, but just undercooking that pass. Really tough one for Amber Lepoitre to take. So back come England instead. Goddard on a hat-trick already in this first half. No touch, Mays to sneak her way through, and this might be a stunning finish in the corner.
Incredible run round the outside there. Somehow make space out of nothing.
Goddard just catching Belgium unawares. They were settled into the touch, but it hadn't in fact been made by Hannah van der Trappen, and Lepoitre beaten on the outside. In fact,
it was actually Jess Miller.
That little number 1 just hiding on the wrong side of the shirt. So instead of the 7 of Anna Goddard, it's the 17 of Jess Miller. Good spot, Anna. And England have 3. Belgium, though, did score an instant response after the original try. It's Shadi Farouz Tahar. Morel all the way across to Cook. Cook again. Wins a penalty. Oh, in fact, the penalty goes against Belgium. The referee just drifting his weight behind their defensive line. 6 minutes gone here, 3-1 England. They are smashing it in this division. They're 8 from 8 in the women's 27. Expected, you think, from England to really pull rank, especially in an area where the larger countries dominate, like the women's age groups above the Open?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think across pretty much all the categories, England's depth shows. They're really doing some incredible things at this tournament, as they have done in previous European Championships as well. And they've got, I think, across a lot of the categories now, clean sweeps, which is good for them.
Good line speed from Shadi Farouzi Tabar. So Belgium do in the end shut out England for the first time. Impressive stuff from them. England, though, aren't perhaps favourites to take every division, though. In the mixed Open, there's lots of talented sides in the mixed 30s as well. Germany have stacked that division. It could be a German-France final. And equally in the women's Open, I mean, France looks so strong in that opening game and have continued to push on. We'll see how they line up later on in the tournament too.
Against us this evening.
Oh, good luck with that one. Gold medal match will be live here on pitch 2 at 2:30 in this women's 27s category. It'll be first against second. It'll likely be France against England again, even though France have already been beaten by this England side. 8-4 when they first met. Decent line speed by Snape. And then as it moved to the left-hand side, England just ran out of touches. Not only do you have referees on every end of the field here, you also have referees whose only role is to provide the other referees with water.
And carry the icebox.
As an indication of just how warm it is out there.
Yeah, I mean, you can feel it. It's different today as well. I've just come off the back of a game and it is proper midday heat. Heavy air. Excellent
break from César van der Kouter, but just about caught. And England with another shutout, their second in succession. Staying really stable here. I mean, they haven't conceded a lot of tries across this tournament. Only 1 against Portugal, only 4 against France, only 1 against Spain, a clean sheet against Scotland. Apologies, Hannah.
Really good drive there by Daniela Mendes down the wing there, coming on and winning a penalty for that as well, for offside. She took great yards subbing on there, just came on with real pace.
Most of these women's players, in fact almost all of them, are obviously still playing Women's Open at the various club levels in England. Is just put back inside.
Daniela Mendes is again trying to go for the low dive there, get across the scoreline, finish off what she started.
Cone, Mendes, options inside and out. Cone with a quick pickup, goes to the open side. There's an overlap on here for England, but they might not need it. Through goes Nicola Marsh. Try given. England have 4. Well, that was impressive stuff to have a 2-player overlap and not even need to throw the final pass.
And that all came from a really nice ball at half here. You see she dummies to the outside and then rips that wide and creates the overlap. They've got options in all of the spaces there.
And we could be on for a rather long game for Belgium, unfortunately, here. Although they'll keep plugging away from halfway.
And the game will get harder and harder as they get more and more tired in this heat as well, quicker than normal. So yeah, it's going to be a really, really big shift from Belgium to keep the score as low as possible.
Lacrosse
lovely scoop.
looking to scoot through, pumped over the top, but it's
so close.
Well covered by Sage Bannister.
It was a lovely scoop though, and it shows that there are spaces if they can run at pace and just keep things fluid.
So back come England after another solid defensive showing. Good work from Lacrosse, one of Belgium's best, but now backtracking as England head to the box. That's brilliant hands from Goddard. Away with one from Rebecca Hill. Here's Ennis. Goddard.
And Snape picking
Great
up
pick
from
up by
half.
Snape. Snape gives the pass, but Belgium read it well.
Lovely shot down there from Belgium. Taking all the time off the scooper.
Indeed, it was a good watch from Belgium, who twice have kept England out in the last two plays. Off to the wing goes Firouzi Tabar. Great drive. Belgium showing a bit of mettle to get over halfway. Jane Gimber onto the field, of course. Representation from the Federation of International Touch as well.
Opening the tournament for us. Giving the opening speech.
A rapturous round of applause from the Belgium supporters as well in that moment. I think it's always a real point of pride to have members move on from individual touch federations and head to fit. No longer dominated by Australia and New Zealand representatives. Good drive though from England. Cone off the deck quickly for Rebecca Hill. Hill to the left-hand side, and it's a good sliding finish from England.
It looked like a late pass in the middle. My referees must have deemed ball away there, because that was actually really nice defence from Belgium.
Well, the try is given.
Or maybe offside was the call.
Almost a touch there, but instead out to the wing and Pemberton over. Now, Hannah, I mean, what have you made of the various women's divisions so far? What kind of changes have you noticed since the most recent edition of this Euros when it was in Vichy 3 years ago?
Yeah, so I mean, I played in Women's Open for quite a few years, and we didn't actually manage to send a team to the last one. Now there's only 4 teams and 4 international sides in the Women's Open. A lot more teams in the Women's 27s, which you can see. I think that's an age progression thing. Teams are coming up through, so it's quite a big change in that, and we're hoping to see a lot more teams back in the next Women's Open division. But the seniors categories are doing really well, and they're really competitive. It's nice to see good games, end-to-end games.
Both the women's and men's opens, of course, do have to compete with the mixed open, which is favoured by a number of the emerging nations. Has the lowest average age of any division, the mixed open.
Yeah, I mean, our mixed open team has lots of our under 18s and under 20s trying to make that switch up to the opens category and playing 2 tournaments one season. For them, they've got the Atlantic Youth stuff coming up, and then this tournament as well, which will be amazing for the development, and hopefully you can see that
players as young as 15 in that Scotland side as England scythe through again. Goddard on a hat-trick. Marsh. Clark. Goddard. Quick ball maybe round the corner here. It's Hill. Floats it over the top, and it's an outstretched hand
Nikki Bird
from Nikki
needs
Bird.
to be 2 feet taller. We'll give her that feedback after.
That's every winger in the game of touch. Needs to look a little bit like Evan Martin, for example, from Scotland.
6'5".
Put down by Belgium. Just looking a little bit too ambitious as they were heading towards the box, and that'll be a real chance here for England. 6 touches.
6 on the line.
In a dangerous area.
I wonder if they maybe go back to that play they tried earlier, which seemed to come off so well. A long ball rip, there you go.
Clark, and there's plenty of space down wide, but this time Nicola Marsh can't hold it. Although at 5-1 up and 5 minutes to go in the first half, I'm sure England won't be too upset.
No, it's a decent enough score, and they'll just keep grinding it out. I think the fitness will start to show in the second half, as we said before, with the heat. See if they can grind it out to get a few more scores on the board.
Worth noting as well in this women's 27 side that the coaching staff are really taking a step back in this game. It's been really player-led most of these changes, and I mean, that is impressive for a side in a division as competitive as this.
Splitter and a lovely dive.
Well, that is
Jessica Clark.
textbook touch from Clark. Really gracious
Excellent
on the way
dive.
through, and those England supporters can celebrate another try. It's 5-1 before half-time.
Just spots the offside player and dives really low to get through there. Lovely dive. Outstretched.
And the tournament favourites, the undefeated side, they're going to go marching on as things stand. Sixth on the board now, but Belgium, through Mwepu, able to drive forward here. Nice line, straight through the centre. Eventually the
She's
touch is
super
made.
close to the line there.
Dumped a little short. Belhadj in the link. Caught further back at the 7. And a little
Just a
miscount.
Fumble there in the ruck. I think put under a lot of pressure there because the roll ball was so close to the line.
Belgium a little short to find their mark. And now backpedaling. England with a good charge. It's a really good line from Mendes.
And England opting not to sub here, just driving up the middle and making the most of a tiring Belgian side. Hasn't quite paid off.
Well, penalty goes against England there. Good line speed though from Mayers Mwepu, who then takes the first touch for Belgium. Just juggled by Van der Kouter, but then well held. Off the deck from Le Poitre.
Coming on with loads and loads of pace there.
Changes for Belgium in this attacking line. This pod hasn't got on the scoreboard just yet. Carnival, unfortunately, forced to give it up. Belgium do look more threatening, Hannah, when they do roll round the corner with real intensity.
It makes such a difference to your attack if you can do everything at pace. I mean, you see England doing it now, just injecting speed onto it. A little bit of miscommunication there between Snape and Anna Goddard, but I think you can see the difference when your subset coming on just runs really hard. It really puts the defence under a lot of pressure.
Interesting process to transition out of the open categories and into the age grades, because of course there is no limit to who can play in the open. You don't have to be a teenager, even though most of them seem to be these days.
Well, I'm 34 and I'm there, so.
They need experienced heads across the team as well.
They
Need
do.
a good balance.
Yeah.
As
Keep the kids in check.
Belgium play well. You saw the likes of Portugal, who've got a really young team, and then the Greer brothers, for example. There is the more senior heads in France as well. The Merlot brothers both maintained despite the really young presence in that side. Round the corner comes Clark. England look threatening again as they lay it down right outside the 10. Clark on the inside. Lots of space for England to operate in when they beat the first shooter. Nice switch. Belgium backpedaling. Clark, brilliant hole.
Lovely dive.
Really top angle from England.
Joe Devine, I think, made that one there.
I believe it is Devine who goes over and scores another, and England have 7 before the break. Yeah, great angle. No chance for Belgium to cover both options.
It's nice to see they're trying lots of different plays as well, working through their playbook and not just sticking to the same thing, even though they know it works. They're giving everything a different shot. Each pod has their own set of plays that they seem to like to run.
Indeed, so much know-how out there, because the timing on that line is such a difficult thing to achieve, as Belgium continue the press on. Mwepu, Van der Kouter, Dubois with a long dive, and it is given.
And touches, I think they're
in fact,
offside.
There's the penalty.
Yeah.
Well, that penalty signal, I can't fathom why it's so similar to the
Yeah,
hand
it
signal on the
very-
score, so it does tend to get me, but Belgium will settle with 6 touches at the 7. Mwepu, Dubois, Marwa Belhadj out there supporting in the link. But it's Dubois looking to catch England lacking as they come forward. Mwepu, Dubois again. Mwepu for the line. Touch made by Jamie Cohn.
I think what we said about subbing applies in line attack as well, is if they can be more dynamic with it. They had 6 touches on the line there, and they needed to really attack England there and try and catch them offside.
But in fact, the chance has gone begging for Belgium, as we are just seconds away from the half-time interval. Excellent drive once again from England, but not quite placed with the accuracy required. Although I'm not sure Belgium are going to have time to go up the field. Regardless, they lose out and the whistle goes. So we'll head through to half-time as expected. England on top this game. A potential banana peel for the undefeated England women's 27 side, but they've performed as expected with all the tricks in the book, putting them 7-1 up against Belgium here with 20 minutes still to play as they look to go 9 from 9. What a run for this women's 27 side here on day 3 of the European Championships in Vichy. We'll be back in just a few moments' time for the second half.
Yes, I get the chip. At half time, I at least get the chip. Okay, well, I will take this. So when there's a live meeting, you keep this little live where it stops in it like 5 choose the beer.
Welcome back then to the second half of this women's 27s tie. It's England with a commanding lead. 20 minutes to play. Let's see if Belgium can get back into this one. Just discussing the layout here at the break, and it's interesting that pitch 1 is a fair bit away, but is in very good nick. Pitch 8, of course, the other live stream, does have a stand, so it was a really hot debate about where the final should be played. They are, in fact, mostly on this field.
Which kind of feels like pitch 1 because it's surrounded by the tents. It's got a lot of people who walk past, so they end up watching, but there's not a lot of space around it, so come finals time. Obviously
can't see it because we are at the back of it, but there is a lot of activities going on in and around here. The fan village and the athletes village at the World Cup in 2024 is actually based off of England Touch's experience here in Vichy from a year early in 2023.
It's really good over there, the fan village. They've got loads going on. Really nice place for people to sit and find some shade and watch Touch still on the big screen.
They did have a band last night, which meant the live stream came off for an hour, so that was pretty insulting.
It was distracting. We were playing right next to the band as well. Couldn't hear each other because they were so loud. Well,
it was a great original band, so no copyright problems for us. They were excellent. At least it wasn't flashing lights again.
Yeah, strobe lights.
To the short side go Belgium, but it just clatters off of Elise Lecluse.
You can see as the teams start to get more tired, England aren't doing it here, but Belgium, they're just getting quite flat, which makes the room for error really small. So the more depth you can get, it's harder work, but actually it's more likely to bring you success if you can stay deep.
Good drive from Mendes, who heads to the box. Round the corner comes Cone to the short side, and then right back again. I mean, there's great handling on show, even if that one is slightly forward.
Yeah.
Just
Curse to the commentator there. That's the depth thing, isn't it?
Absolutely. It does just feel like when you watch an England team across the age groups that they do just have more experience with a rugby ball than a lot of the other nations, and also the English players in terms of their play are at times indistinguishable from one another, whereas there are peaks and troughs amongst the other nations, which is all fair enough. People have different rugby experiences, but England can call upon the very best. Hence why they're continuing to top this pool undefeated as the rounds roll on.
I think what is nice to see, there's a lot of the girls who are playing women's and through the age categories are actually working their way through the age categories. So they're starting young and they're playing touch from a young age. From women's open
Lovely
to 27s.
Dummy, and straight through goes Jess Miller, who scores another rangy try. England open up their account in the second half. It didn't take them long. Expansive running, splitting the middles there.
Jess Miller again.
And Miller has 2. England on top. Tap from Belgium. And forward goes Lean Carnival. Carnival with another good drive. And Belgium are going to have a chance to strike here. It's Drewers. Drewers feeds it off, Cesar van der Kouter, and then the final ball is wayward.
Just not able to find that last pass. Hopefully they defend really hard here, maybe gain themselves some field position. Work hard on England subbing.
Well, I'll be interested to know, as someone who does qualify for the women's 27, as they've scythed through again, through Jessica Clark. What do you think are the main differences between these categories? I mean, for England, there can't be many.
Yeah, so I played 27s at the World Cup because we didn't have a women's open team that year. And actually, from playing, the difference is really, especially with teams like against your Englands, your Australias, the difference is really marginal. They are athletes at all levels and they are really good touch players at all levels. Actually, what happens as you work your way up through the age categories is you just get more experience. And so maybe you can control the game a bit better and make kind of measured decisions. I don't know if that's the right phrase to use, but in terms of physicality, especially in your kind of more experienced nations, the difference is really marginal as you work your way through the age categories, which is great to see that this women's 27s team are all incredible athletes and great touch players.
Belgium come close, but are denied. So England A long way from home, but will start to weave their way towards the box. Soft hands onto the edge, a little bit of space for Nicky Bird. It's had a bit of a premium for the wingers. Marsh with a good carry. Great pace
Great
injected
latch.
into the line from Goddard. Snake
Lovely footwork there.
all the way across they go. It's Hill. Again, the winger not required. England wingers must feel a little aggrieved that these links have been sprinting on the outside instead of using them.
I always say though, if the winger hadn't held their space, they would never have, because that winger went to defend her winger, so she would never have got through if the winger hadn't done her job too. So
Just wouldn't make me feel better.
didn't get the glory. Didn't get the glory. He did a
Well.
lot of the work.
Shouted out by Hannah though, which is just as good as a try. As Mwepu comes charging through the middle here. And it's Belhadj at link, playing half from Mwepu and Verbois. Here's Mwepu, Belhadj, Verbois. Really good drive, and Verbois going for another long-range effort.
You can see the dust now starting to pull up as they dive and as they roll the ball. The pitches are drying out. They did an incredible job of keeping them well watered and soft at the beginning of the week. It's going to get harder and harder as the days get hotter and the week goes on.
Yeah, our production van looks like it's been driven through the Sahara on its way here. We didn't come via Morocco.
Could have done.
Tap penalty off come England again, 10-1 up. The mellow tone of the comms is really only a result of the fact that this game was over about 10 minutes after it started, which is just a testament to the strength of this England side.
It's very calm in the box as well, which I think is, partly to do with the score, but it will be something that they're working on as a team so they can practice that for when the games are under a lot more pressure.
Of course, 2:30 tomorrow on this pitch, you'll catch the gold medal match where England face France again. And it would be just so for France to really bring it to them on that occasion. Nice shape from Cohn, but not the execution required from Elena Ennis this time.
They have won the penalty though.
So Blush is spared. Offside is the call. On comes Snape.
See what they do with the full set of 6 on the line.
Cohn with a tap. Snape. Cohn at half. Back to Snape, who takes off the handbrake and slides through. Lucy Snape with a great finish, but good defence from Belgium.
Just playing really level, working their way through the touch count, working out where the defensive gaps are.
Good catch from Mwepu. Snape denied an extension of that run. Snape again. Snape gets in on the return. This time finds the winger.
Unlucky.
Almost an unbelievable grab from inches off the turf. But it's a good shot out from Belgium. Few and far between in this game.
Yeah, well defended set. We're going to take another drive now, see if we can get up the other end of the field.
Really impressive physicality in the touch. Had a great conversation with Theo Edwards about physicality and one of the big differences between North and South. As through goes Cesar van der Kouter. The final pass just doesn't come off, and as half, she wasn't able to score.
Gutted for them. It was a really good run through there. She took advantage of the space that she found. Just didn't have anyone with her to finish that off, unfortunately.
But I'm interested to get your take on it from a women's perspective, as we were talking about the men's open and the mixed open, of just how physical the touches are in Australia, and it's one of the defining features that separates North and South in Thea's opinion.
Yeah, I think it's a physical game across the board down in the Southern Hemisphere, playing in kind of state cups, NTLs and stuff. But it's controlled physicality, and it's used to manipulate you as an attacker. So push you off balance in a roll ball. It's not just coming in blind physically, throwing your weight around. It's actually using your own weight against you, which is it's a really smart way of managing the contact, and it makes it really hard to get the roll ball.
Really lovely line. Goddard scores another. England have 11. There will be a time when, as touch continues to grow in this country, that unfortunately people are going to begin to be excluded, and I think that's something that they're trying to avoid, but you can't avoid it forever, because eventually there will be selection decisions to be made, and harsh decisions, and England leading the way with that. I mean, just look at their men's open side and the changes that they have enforced. Those were not decisions made by the players to move on to the 30s, but that's how you make good teams and you build for the future. And maybe it'll be time for the referees in this part of the world to become a little bit more lenient about physicality. Because you obviously don't want to exclude people from the game, but there are so many variations of touch, so many age groups that there'll always be a place.
There'll be a place for everyone to play, and I'm, as I said before, 34 and still playing opens, and I'm begging for somebody younger to come through and take my place. It would be such a good thing for Scottish Touch to have that pathway of players to take my place and to carry that on, and it's a testament to the work that people do. I think is that when you do have a pathway of people who can push the older people in the teams out and up, because that just shows the game is growing.
And that's what a lot of these players in the women's 27 will have experienced as well. Snape with a take. Hill. Soft hands. Belgium biting. Good defence from Lecluse. But still there with Cone. Cone. Round the corner they come. Marsh is over. But it will just be a penalty.
Belgian winger got a great read on that there and managed to come in and save. I know they got a penalty, but it's, I guess, better than a score, right?
Indeed. Jamie Cone there at half again. Snape steps off the left, and this time it's given Lottie Morel a touch offside, perhaps. Another score. England have 12, and they'll celebrate them just as they have the dozen before. Very popular scorer as well for England, Snape.
I wonder if that's a milestone score, maybe. Because they're lifting her up. You can't see it from here, but they are lifting her up in the box and dancing around her.
Well, since we've got 8 minutes left, I'm going to find out. So I'll leave you in the company of Hannah for just a moment. So can you believe it? Despite their dominant performances, the cheer was met because that was Lucy Snape's first try.
This tournament?
The tournament, indeed. Which is not quite the milestone we're expecting, but still very good-natured. I didn't know that it was described as a nudie run.
A nudie run.
If you don't score.
Yeah. And if you don't score, I mean, you have to do as it says on the tin.
I see.
Yeah.
Sage Bannister on the far side, avoiding that fate for certain. With a score against Belgium here. 13-1 it is now.
I think that's maybe a function of her role in the team. So Snape's usually a scooper, and therefore is usually the one setting up the scores. So it is curse of the role, getting, like we said before, similar to the wingers, doing all the work and getting none of the glory.
Belgium keen to get this back underway, even at this late stage. More action from the men's 50s division up next. Wales, who've got one of the strongest teams in that category, are taking on Ireland. But still 6 minutes left here, with Belgium approaching halfway and then crossing it through Clara Druers, and some quick ball off the base. It's a really nice dart from Cesar van der Kouter. Van der Kouter draws another touch. Here come Belgium. Late delay on the pass for Druers, but there was a link there to make the touch. England just defensively as well have been excellent. Not a clean sheet, but again they've conceded just one try in a number of their games so far, and it's a really impressive record, especially when you think that Belgium realistically have had at least 13 shots at the line from halfway. Yeah,
that's a great showing of their defence, really, is that they can afford to work, well, they can and they do work really hard in defence, not just in attack, to get those scores.
Belgium still in possession, head towards the box and make their changes here. 5 minutes left to go, still driving on. We were discussing last night with Joe Wright, who's unfortunately had to leave us, of course, at this stage of the tournament, about who might be the next potential hosts of the European Championships. And Belgium did come up as potential option.
I'm going to put my money on, this is an outside call, but you heard it here first, Portugal.
There was a moment where you could have said anything there. I was thinking, are we all off to Tirat or something?
Georgia.
Yeah. Where the Junior World
Portugal.
Championships were actually just hosted at under 20 level, of course, in the game of rugby union. Portugal would be stunning. Big fan. I mean, Braga seems to be the sort of biggest touch club around those parts.
They've just grown so much in the last few years. I remember speaking to one of their players, and someone who's been involved with Portuguese touch for a long time, a couple of years ago, and they had brought one team to Euros, and they've now got 5 or 6 teams across the seniors categories mostly, but they've also got a mixed open, and they're growing the game really, really well. We were actually behind them in the opening ceremony, and it was like a real festival atmosphere. They were all singing, they had their chants, and there's just a buzz about Portuguese touch just now. So I'm Portugal touch, if you're listening and you can understand me. I'd love a trip in a few years' time.
Well, I'm off to Portugal on Sunday, so I can do some scouting perhaps.
Lovely.
Around
Where are you going?
around the Algarve,
Oh,
of course.
Yes.
We will see, of course, Portugal entered their first ever side in the Youth Atlantic Cup just a year ago, and a lot of those under-18s are now in their fairly decent mixed open team, which were beaten by the Netherlands, but they did score 4 against the European champions Wales, including a couple of stunners. And they've got some Brazilians in that side as well as Portuguese.
Yeah.
Of course, where rugby itself is growing across the board. Nice lift from Belgium, though, although they're a little bit slow off the mark from the most recent touch. Nice ball to keep it alive. Mendes in defence.
Good platform now. Keep going. Find something on 5th.
Well, just the wrong option there. I'm not sure that Clara Druers was ready to jump onto that one. There is, of course, a lot of English influence in this Belgium side. They don't just have a great grasp of the language. There are a couple of fully fledged English potential internationals there. But, of course, the rules with Federation International Touch is only 3 years of residency to qualify, which is actually a stauncher rule than I imagined. Apparently so.
I thought it was 2.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because this was a conversation I was having with some players who transitioned out of New Zealand to Switzerland, actually. Yeah. And they said, yes, we had to wait 3 years. Oh. But then again, it might be different rules within each individual national conference. It's
definitely a fit rule that applies for international tournaments.
I thought it was quite stringent, actually.
It is, and I had thought it was 2. I'm happy to be wrong, but
no.
In fact, no, because we a girl in our team. She actually pulled out injured a few weeks ago, but she's Scottish qualified, and I'm pretty sure she's 2 years.
Well, there's Josiah Yuen, for example, Scottish qualified, after going there for university, which in Scotland you of course have to go for ever, 4 years minimum.
That's why I left, went to England.
As England score another. This is a really nicely worked try. That's a good ball. Under real pressure as well. And Pemberton strolls home. Try number 14. Well, they're not going to hit their full heights, this England team. They did beat Scotland 15-0 as their best scoring performance. They have already put 14 past Spain in this competition and 12 on Belgium when these sides last met. So somehow, Hannah, they're still improving. Verbois, Mwepu. Verbois again, now to the open side. Verbois scoots through, but it's caught by Mendes before she could give the pass.
She'd found the right line there, and she found the right hole, just needed to give that pass a bit earlier.
Just a minute to go here. England have racked up another comfortable win in the women's 27s division, and for all the great progress of touch, and Belgium's appearance in this tournament is a sign of good progress regardless, there is still a pretty large gap between England, of course the only Tier 1 nation in the Northern Hemisphere, and the others. As Nikki Bird is caught, Belgium with a good shutout, 20 seconds to go.
Do you know what the criteria is for a Tier 1 nation? Is it volume of players level? Or
I actually don't know, because it was a post-World Cup decision.
Yeah.
So I imagine there's some kind of committee that convenes. But also Tier 1 status, I mean, And I think it gives England certain voting rights within the constitution, but realistically, they are the leaders in this part of the world in the game of touch, and they are the winners here in this women's 27s division by 14-1. A fantastic performance. England a 9 from 9 after a long 2 days of touch, turning into 3 here. England 14, Belgium 1. Hannah, pleasure to have you alongside us for this one. You're welcome back any time under the gazebo here in
Nice to have some shade.
pitch 2. Indeed, I don't know what we do without it. England go marching on. Up next, action for the men's 50s division. It's an all-Celtic affair as Ireland take on Wales.